Welcome to another commentary, finally. I've finished my large amount of work. I have seen Dark Knight Rises, and it's like 5 o'clock, and I got up like 2 hours ago. That's what happens when you're up too late. So, there's a moral from that, and you can actually hear it in my voice as well. I'm a bit croaky at the moment. But, if you're going to be out late, don't do something stupider and make it out later. That's what I've gathered from this. Finished at about 3 o'clock in the morning, got home at about 5, so yeah, that's what I've gone. So if I'm a bit croaky or out of it, that should explain it why. Alright, so what have we got? We have got a 1v1, yet again, and it is Huns v Hun, but the players are Viper playing in yellow, and Tim playing in blue. And honestly, I think that's worth watching, even though it is a Hun v Hun. The other thing as well is, if you've looked at the minimap yet, you'll notice this massive ice patch in the middle. And we're on Ghost Lake, which is another really interesting map, which isn't shown a lot, so I decided, may as well go for it. Like, I know it's Huns, and I know people get sick of Huns, but I haven't put up a lot of Huns v Huns recently, and it's always interesting to watch really high-level players go at it. So, interesting things to note about Ghost Lake: there's this big icy center in it, and generally you find extra sheep out on the ice. There's 3 there, any others about, 2 over there. Doesn't look like too many more, but like I said, we've got Viper and Tim going at it, which are no doubt 2 of the strongest players out at the moment. Doubt, of course, being really well played as well, but of course he's not in practice at the moment. So probably 2 of the best, well, most practiced players at the moment. And I think it's always interesting to see 2 go to head like this, because it's really high level play. Just the decisions all of them make, it just comes down to those really little things. It just has to be perfect play, or you'll be in trouble. So I just really enjoy watching them, and I hope you share my enthusiasm for that. So, managing to pick up a few extra sheep there for Tim from Viper by the looks of it. Viper already got his first farm up though with that village there. Looks like he should be safe from Tim's scout there. These villages over here, same deal, should all be pretty safe. Going up with that, as I've called, standard build. Not so much standard, but that's more of a guideline build to use. As well, I did put those up, and a lot of good feedback on them, so that's good, even though I wasn't putting up commentaries or anything. It was good to see that I was helping you guys out, because that's really what I want to do with this channel, honestly. Commentaries are good, I enjoy watching, they're there for entertainment, but I enjoy helping out a lot of the newer players as well, because that's the easiest way to keep this game alive. If we can keep those new players coming up, so next time a zero gamer or something enters your room, don't kick them out just because you want your rating. You know, if you think it's going to pull down the thing of the game, that's fair enough. But if it's just for rating's sake, that's what I don't like. Anyway, that's enough from that. Let's have a look right now at what our players are going for. Both players should be going up to Feudal Age around now. We're currently spectating Tim, so he's got quite a few resources there, and let's actually have a look what he's got. He's only got 1 farm up at the moment, but he's got quite a few still on to food here, and he's luring some deer in with his scout. It looks like he's going to be going for scouts, and Viper as well, going out with 2 farms, a few over here. How many has he got on berries? It looks like 4. Could potentially be going scouts as well, actually, considering how many he's still got on food here. Gonna depend if he drops more with these guys here, or if he sends them out to wood. What are we seeing? Well, we're seeing a stable, so generally I guess that means we're going to see scouts from them. Scouts from Tim as well there, so that's fairly predictable, just judging by the grouping there. And Viper being smart as well, noticing that this stable's out, as we saw his scout come down here. He did get attacked by Tim's scout, but noticing that as well, and sending a spear immediately across the map, because that can do a lot of harassment at this stage in the game. Just because of the fact your opponent won't have much out, except spears if it gets there really early. And scouts as well, so it means either that spearman's going to be able to do a lot of damage to those scouts if it's not careful. So we can see we've got Viper noticing as well that Tim's starting to wall himself in, and what's the correct response to a wall off? Well, you can either try and put pressure on them enough to really disturb them, but the way Tim's walling off, it's going to be really hard, especially with this backwood and gold here. Not going to be able to get a lot of harassment on, so Viper definitely making the right decision and deciding to wall himself off as well. Very smart play by both players at this stage. Tim, of course, known for that walling style tactic, and going into night, so it'll be interesting to see if we see him go cavalry archers, or he decides to go out with the knights again and gets those monks behind them to try and keep them healed up nice. But going to be really interesting. What is this villager coming over here to do? Wall, fair enough. Over here we have seen the first archery range already come up for Tim. Looks like he's going to be getting some skirmishes there to try and take out those spears that are no doubt going to be mixed in with Viper's army. There we go, 1 right there. Looks like scouting with that spearman as well at this stage. Scouts over this section here. Viper actually losing a villager at the top over here could be quite problematic, but should be able to take it back without too much trouble right now. Only 3 scouts in here for Tim, so he is going to have to bolt off on this one. And as well, saying that, not really a lot else going on the map right now. Just this fighting here with the scouts at this stage, and the full wall off going on by both players. Score still being really close, and oh, that was a very good wall off by Viper there. Very quick reaction timing. That was actually just great to see. Wall off over here has not been finished, so scouts can still get in and get some harassment. However, I don't believe Tim knows this. I think he's expecting the wall off to be done. However, it still looks like there is going to be a bit of harassment here. But Viper coming in with more scout coverage, trying to get the damage on. No upgrades on either of them yet, so no one really having the advantage. Viper with a spearman in there, though, definitely going to be able to turn the tide there without too much trouble. We see another double archery range going up for a Viper, most likely seen fletching already. Tim as well, what do you got on the play right now? Nothing, he's advancing up to Castle Age. That's pretty quick, honestly, considering how fast they've been going, well, how much they've been going into the Feudal War. Viper going up as well, so both players at this stage starting to take a break out of the fighting, go up, get some more expensive units, try and do some more damage with them. Because as we know, Knights do just completely dominate pretty much everything at this stage in the game. Not a lot you can really do. Spearmen, of course, will take them on. They are cost effective. But, you know, still a very strong unit to have. And looks like Viper's finished his wall off over here, so should be pretty good with this now, having this entire area under his control. And not a lot of harassment going to be able to come in from both places. We might be in for a late imp war here the way this is going, because there's not a lot of harassment that can come in, really. Because they've walled off completely. If you had a tower over here, he could just move these villagers over to here or whatever he wanted to. Could move them to here. It's 2 back golds. Well, 2 side golds, essentially, but just a lot of stalling at this stage. Not a lot either player can do. So it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. It looks like Tim is going to be going towards Knights, because we do see that double stable up already. Plus we already see some Knights up with some upgrades on them, the +2 armor already on them. And of course having that Bloodline's really going to help out. And Viper no doubt going to have Bloodlines as well, if he hasn't forgotten. No Bloodlines yet for Viper, still on 50 HP for those Cavalry Archers. Should be 70, I think. Yeah, 70 is right for Bloodlines. And moving these units across the map here, trying to get some damage on quite early by the looks of it. And yep, there we go, Bloodline has been done, and Bodkin Arrow has also been done. So we should be able to get quite a bit of damage onto these Scouts, Knights as well. And potentially the Barracks, they're going to take quite a bit of damage, but forced to retreat there, as is these Cavalry Archers are just going to be able to pick them off with no losses. And of course, this game, it's all about getting bang for your buck. More Knights moving out now for Tim, going to be able to start trying to cage Viper in at this stage, put a lot more damage on him, and doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of harassment he's going to be able to do. Could potentially get some towers up around the edges, but of course, retaliation towers could just go up and take them out without too much trouble. Viper going up with his 4th town centre there by the looks of it, so he's going to be going for quite a big boom at this stage. Tim as well, what are we on? We see 1 town centre, 2 town centre, no 3 town centre 4. But the Siege Workshop is up, so it looks like he is either preparing for these Cavalry Archers to come in or trying to get some harassment on. However, at this stage, it looks like Cavalry Archers are the go for Viper, so getting those Mangonels in at this stage is going to be really important to do. And it looks like Viper does have the amount here to probably win this fight. However, reinforcements coming in through this section here, going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to these units. If not, just wipe them all out together. And fleeing off there, so we'll just speed things up again. No point just watching units run away in slow motion, in my opinion. Hence the reason I keep so much of the games in fast forward. I like to give out as much as I can in the least amount of time, essentially. Which means more action, less watching the units walk across the map. Because like I said, commentaries are for entertainment and tutorials are for learning, essentially. Can learn, of course, by watching commentaries, but you can't really see everything going on at once, and you can't really focus on everything at once, so it's kind of hard to do. This section over here, Tim patrolling, of course, got that Mangonel out, so he is ready to start defending this area. Has moved out with the town centre to this gold pile here. Always a smart play when you're moving out to an area like this, which is easily harassable. To put a town centre up on it, it can give that extra defense for those villagers. Even a tower is nice to have. Towers are taken down a lot easier, though, as we all know, and can only garrison 5 villages, of course, unless you're Teutons. So, moving in through this section, Viper still looking for a way in. Nobody on this area here, however, so he's not going to be able to do much damage to them. Now, this could be interesting for Viper. Is he going to go for these mangonels first, or is he just going to try and get out of the area? Tim trying to get a bit of damage on there, losing one cavalry archer, potentially going to lose this one here too. Yes, that one is going down, and this one on the end here could have a bit of trouble coming from him as well. However, Viper has massed up a lot of cavalry archers right now, currently at the 31-minute mark, and this is going to be really bad for Tim's army, honestly. These units will be able to take them out without too much trouble. Mangonels as well, being a really slow unit. Again, going to have to actually get up here before they can. Thumbring and ballistics doesn't look like they have been done. In fact, University is there at the moment, not researching anything at the moment though. Could have seen ballistics already, potentially. Few mangonel shots coming in through here. Viper being really careful with his cavalry archers, moving them back at the right times. Very smart play by both players at this stage, both losing really little amounts of units at this stage. Only 100 points difference between the two players at the moment, meaning it's an extremely close game at this stage. Of course, because of these wall-offs from both players, there's no real hit and run, so it kind of voids out the cavalry archer a little bit, just because they are just amazing for hit and running. But if he can get into Tim's base, he should just be able to completely destroy that economy. Villagers over here potentially in trouble from these mangonels if they come around. However, again, all this army over here could be in a lot of trouble to these cavalry archers, especially once they start to get all those upgrades racking up on them. And I wouldn't be surprised, actually, right now, I'd be fairly confident to say this is going to go to a late imp war. Either that or Tim will lose his entire army in this section here, and due to that, will resign the game. However, Viper going to have to be really careful how he engages here, because of course those mangonels do have the potential to do a lot of damage to these cavalry archers. Castle is coming up here on the high ground, very smart placement, means it should be able to oversee this gold here, and of course the only other way being around this side of the map here, which is past the town centre. So quite smart choice there, and it looks like he's going to be able to take out a few of these knights here with 3 losses by the looks of it. Mangonels are moving in, and is he going to get some good hits? Looks like he is going to do some damage, but not a lot. Not enough to really secure any victory up here. Nothing to really be worth it at this stage either. It doesn't look like there has been many cavalry archers lost at all at this stage. Knights are getting in there with their 2+2 pierce armor. However, that is a lot of cavalry archers for them to try and deal with. Microing back as well, trying to keep as a group and just make it so there's as little area for these knights to attack as possible. And here we go, we're going to see the retreat from Tim right now. And the ratio there actually looks quite even at this stage. Mangonels not getting as much damage as they should have, potentially, and it looks like we've actually seen an extra wall off here just to make sure those units didn't get through. Very smart thinking by Viper so far in this game. Tim moving out to another area of the map, trying to get a little bit of extra gold. Viper, of course, having 3 already secured with town centers. It means he's going to be in a very good position right now. And deciding to move out across the map with all these cavalry archers, that's a lot of cavalry archers to have. How much of an army does Tim have? Tim could be in a lot of trouble here if he doesn't get his knight count up quite quickly. He does have currently 5 stables by the looks of it out, and potential for some skirmishes as well. Monks are out to heal up his units, which Viper hasn't been able to do yet, so that could be enough to turn the tide at this stage, especially if you get some good converts as well, up to 4 converts there. And of course, that's 4 units going against your enemy and going for you. So it's always helpful to get those conversions. And are we going to see any? I hear 1. I hear 2. I hear 3. Doesn't look like he's going to get the 4th. I thought there was 4 monks there at one stage. And a fight over here. Looks like this is going to go in favour of Viper right now. Just not being able to keep up the pressure with these knights. And what have we got here? We've got more units moving out across the map for Viper. Villagers moving out as well. Could potentially see a forward siege workshop go up for Viper. Try and get into Tim's just base and do some real bad economy harassment for him. Because naturally, like I've pointed out in numerous games before, once cavalry archers get in your base, if you're not quick on that town bell button, you're in a lot of trouble. Viper currently going up to the Imperial Age. How about Tim? Are we seeing Imperial Age for him? Not yet, however, it does look like he's saving up for it. He does have enough gold there to go for it. And he has been collecting the relics as well, so Tim is in it for the long game right now. Do have the defensive castle coming up. Very good positioning by Tim. Getting that in defense, it means this town center should be a lot more safe. And this area is going to be a lot less approachable with just playing cavalry archers. He's going to have to mix in some rams as well. And what have we got over here? We are seeing a mining camp go up on this side over here, so no forward siege workshop at this stage. Mangonel looks like it's going to try and get a hit in, and I don't think it did any damage there at all. And cavalry archers taking it out without too much trouble. Over here, knights again just running in, getting taken out. Viper taking as many free kills as he can at the moment. Because knights aren't cheap units, they do cost quite a bit of gold. And of course, gold is really expensive. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. But gold, it's probably one of the rarer resources on the map, of course, aside from stone. But it's one of the more useful. Without gold, and if your opponent has a lot of gold, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, just like any resource, really. But those gold-heavy units just do so well against trash units, it's ridiculous. So having that stockpile that Tim has at the moment is absolutely great for him. And there's the Forward Siege Workshop going down for Viper. He is retreating out across the map, however, cavalry archers are still streaming across the map for him. He is coming out with some monks now. Don't know whether he's trying to collect relics or if he's going to be trying to heal up his army at this stage. Tim choosing to retreat back, probably the smarter idea. I don't think he'd be able to win this in a head-on fight, especially with Viper's reinforcements coming in like they are now. He's going to be forced to sit back around here, try and build up his knight count, maybe get up into Imperial Age and get some Cavalier, maybe even some Paladins out. Forward Siege Workshop for Viper, is it working on anything at the moment? Let's have a quick gander at that. No. But looking at this, there is going to be a few more coming up, so he is going to be trying to get a lot of damage on at this stage. Viper about to hit the Imperial Age 2, so no doubt we will see that Heavy Cavalry Archer upgrade as well as the Bracer. Might even see up to Siege Ram in this matchup. Could potentially not, because there is a lot of Knights in play for Tim right now, so they might not be the most valuable unit possible. Could see some Mangonels instead to deal with buildings, just because of course he's going to be able to hide them behind his army instead of just having the Knights gang up at the front. Because when they have Pierce Armor like this, they have 4 Pierce Armor. That's a lot, like, for a Castle Age army. But Viper hitting Imperial Age right about now. Should definitely be seeing those upgrades soon on these guys. And it's really going to put it in the favour of Viper instead of Tim. It's going to be so hard for Tim to keep up at this stage unless he ages up. So we do see battering rams being created right now for Viper, which means he is going to be going for one big assault now. And got to be careful here that he doesn't lead Tim towards these siege workshops here. Going to be really harmful if he does, because then he'll know this is coming. Cav Ram is being upgraded, so it looks like we will see all the way up to Siege Ram, of course, unless he doesn't have the food to do so. But right now, it's starting to look pretty bad for Tim. That was a very good hit there by the Mangonel. Actually, should be able to just put a lot of damage on these units. We actually looked, they are actually all on quite low health, whereas we compare them to Tim's Knights, all pretty much on full, mainly due to these Force of Monks just keeping them on quite high hit points. Mangonel still moving out for Tim, needing to take a lot better care of them at this stage. These units are moving back for Viper. Again, smart move, pulling back like this, trying to get more reinforcements out. And then, of course, Tim going to be forced to retreat once he gets too far away from this area over here. Because this really is his safe zone, created by this town centre and castle at this stage. And if we have a look over here, it looks like we are seeing Viper's Rams move into position, trying to take out this stone wall over here. Could potentially run a bunch of cavalry archers into there. Heavy cavalry archer has been done. We have seen the bracer upgrade. No chemistry yet, by the looks of it. And Mangonel again getting another good hit in there, however not enough to kill off a bunch of units. Mangonel going down there, and of course that splash damage is really important. And it looks like Tim again forced to retreat out, so while that's happening, let's see, Tim is going to be going up to the Imperial Age right now, and he is actually forced to take his units back inside his base right now, as this area is going to be under constant harassment by the looks of it from Viper if he's not, well, fast enough to get some units down there. Potentially going to lose quite a few if he's not careful of these villages, and of course if that happens it's going to be a lot of damage. And Villager moving forward there, looks like he was using a Tomahawk to try and kill one of those Cap Rams. However, not possible at this stage. Surprised we haven't seen a run by these Cavalry Archers already. Maybe they just can't fit through the small gap there. Can't really see. And again, Cavalry Archers trying to take down this gate. This is not looking helpful for Tim right now. Going up to the Imperial Age, no doubt we are going to see that extra armor upgrade, most likely the Paladin upgrade as well. Castle has gone up at this stage, and it looks like this gate is about to go down. And the gate is down. Chemistry has been done for Viper now, as we can tell by the flaming arrows. And where is this cavalry archer run by? I am expecting running straight in. Here it comes. Gonna just probably sit around here, kill all the villagers, sit over there, kill all the villagers, and just do as much damage as he can. And any murder holes yet? Doesn't look like we have murder holes yet for Tim, so he's not going to be able to get a lot of damage from this castle onto these units. Hence the reasons he's been sticking inside these walls for so long. And units over here just getting taken out by these cavalry archers. So much harassment being put on Tim right now. We might see the good game any second right now. Cavalry Archers, of course, putting a lot of damage onto these Knights, but then again, Castle, of course, soaking up quite a lot of damage from those Rams. But when you're outmassed by Knights and you're not really moving with them, Cavalry Archers are not the best thing to use in the world. And Castle could potentially go down the way this is headed. However, the Siege Rams might just get taken out in time by the Knights. However, this economy over here is absolutely destroyed for Tim. Tim currently on 130 population and plummeting quickly. What have we got for Viper? Viper sitting on 185, smiling high right now. Cavalier upgrade has been done for Tim. We have seen the +4 armor as well, meaning those Cavalry Archers are going to be that little less effective against them. And it looks like he's just going to sit in the back here. And what kind of damage do we have going on for Viper right now? Is he still restocking? Yes, he is sending Cavalry Archer after Cavalry Archer into the war zone right now. Going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Trying to head off these Cavalry Archers here with his Cavalier, but Cavalry Archers should be able to take them off. And Tim trying to flank these units here. However, there is a lot of Cavalry Archers in play right now, and Tim might not be able to deal with this right now. He does have quite a few extra coming in to do some damage, but again, more units streaming in from Viper, going to be able to just get more and more harassment onto Tim's economy, and I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with it much longer. Especially at the rate these Cavalier are going down, and he might have these to stand ground. This is not helpful at all. These units are not even attacking right now. Not good at all for Tim. It looks like they have been sitting on stand ground or non-attack stand ground most likely right now, but losing quite a few just Cavalier there for nothing, which is just absolutely great for Viper, racking in some of those free kills. And maximum upgrades are right now on these Cavalier, and if we look at the Cavalry Archers, the exact same goes for them. Looks like he might just be able to hold this out here. It's going to be very close, just depending on the HP of all these units. And Viper might just get taken out over here. Tim's still in a really bad situation though. Currently down by 300 points and still going. It looks like we are going to see all these Cavalry Archers finally killed off for meaning Tim's going to be able to start getting his economy back in process. He does have quite a few town centers up, so he should be able to redo it without too much trouble. He does also have this town center up over here, but this gold one as well is going to be up under constant harassment anytime soon. Again, lots of Cavalry Archers moving in for a Viper. Trebuchets out, putting damage on this castle. Of course, when you're using units like Cavalier, you can't really deal with Trebuchets that effectively when they're backed by Cavalry Archers like this, because they've just got such high range. They stay out of the buildings, well, damage area, and Cavalier, if they try and run in, they'll get killed off really easily by Cavalry Archers in this amount. So it looks like this is going to be GG for Tim any second, especially with the amount of gold Viper's had on the map. He's just been dominating this game pretty much from the start. The wall are proving very effective for both players, however, Viper as well, getting in there that early through this area here, getting that harassment was just crucial to how he's paid off here. If Tim could have got up to Paladins, it could have been a different story completely. But we should see the GG any second now. I can't see him doing a lot at this stage. Cavalier, of course, going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but again, they're outmassed pretty badly by the Cavalry Archers at this stage. We actually see Hussars coming in for Viper right now, more Trebuchets moving in as well. So not a lot he's going to be able to do to deal with this army, especially with more archer engines and siege workshops on the side over here. Another hit on his economy, definitely possible anytime soon. Area over here, still not walled off. Stable is going up for a potential wall. And it looks like this town center will be taken out quite quickly, and the Cavalry Archers will be able to clear up anything that's dropped out of it quite easily. Again, Cavalier up against a massed Cavalry Archer. Of course, it is possible to win, but when you're outmassed too badly, not much you can do. Looks like we did see some damage there from that Mangonel, however, getting taken out quite quickly. And all these villagers over here going to be taken out by these Hussars. They can't really stand up to them at all. And Cavalier's just doing more and more damage. Trebuchet's no doubt going to be moving in soon. Surprised he actually didn't send that one unit to try and get some damage on here. But castle for a Viper, so we are seeing a forward castle drop. Where are those villagers coming from? Right across the other side of the map right now. So it should be a little bit, looks like this trebuchet here might just survive this push. And over here, the Hussars still trying to do as much damage as possible. But Tim managing to thin down Viper's army, but Viper's just so far ahead at the moment, it's absolutely ridiculous. More Hussars moving in. Siege Rams, of course, pushing in through this side here, meaning he's going to be forced to put up more and more stables to replace the ones that have gone down. Of course, not helpful. Having more idle villages there as well. There is quite a lot to do at the moment, so it is just absolutely certain that he's just got so much to do, it just hasn't been able to look at these villages and notice they haven't been doing anything yet. but villagers over here should be killed off quite quickly. Only left with 30 gold on this section here. Forward castle is going up, and we are seeing the resign from Tim there. So that was a stunning play by Viper there. Good defense by Tim, but Viper's just managing to get in through this section here. Just destroyed his economy and put him right back in the score. So thanks for watching, guys. This is my first commentary back after my little break, and hopefully there'll be many more before I take a break again. So I'll see you guys in the next game.